الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي بنعمته تتم الصالحات والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا الأمين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا ولوالدينا وارحمهم كما ربونا صغارا Ya Allah, Ya Fa'al lima yurid. We express our gratitude to you for allowing us to attend the launching ceremony of the 10 UMILC 2019 on this auspicious event. Ya Allah, Lord of the implementing authority, make the days that we have gone through starting with your mercy, continue with your blessing and end it with the forgiveness. And also make the days that we have gone through with guidance and end with the victory of excellence. Allahumma ja'al jam'ana hadha jam'an marhuma wa tafarruqana tafarruqan ma'suma ولا تجعل اللهم فينا ولا معنا ولا مطرودا ولا محروما ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Thank you, Mr. Hafiz. Malaysia.
Eminent Sustainable, a global revolution in a truly competitive millennium. Dedication and commitment are the essence in facing challenges and fulfill hopes. Intellectuals play the most significant role in the creation of frameworks for future sustainable development. This is the pledge of University Utara, Malaysia.
Managing means managing a huge number of people, how to position them, how to make them work, how to make them contribute to whatever it is that you want to achieve. So it is necessary for us to have a university that focuses on management.
Management is the embodiment of University Utara Malaysia UUM. Management that is based on thought and intellectual, where art, science and craft meet.
Conception, UUM strives to produce graduates who are not only knowledgeable, but also thoughtful and devoted to their families and all stakeholders. With a high level of integrity, we hope that the contributions of UUM graduates to the religion, people, country, and also at the international level will bring positive impact now and also in the future.
Emphasis is given to the advancement of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, IR 4.0. The world sees UUM as an institution of higher learning, equipped with a state-of-the-art facilities, smart campus enfolded by nature. UUM champions the voice of its students. It is the voice of future intellects.
So as a student graduating, especially from University Utara Malaysia, which is actually the management university, we need to make sure that they are actually equipped with all this proficiency.
If you look at the world now, people are talking about sustainability, go green. So UM is in the right place, greeneries, and the environment is certainly very conducive to get the students to learn and to absorb knowledge.
The educational reform has placed UUM as a credible institution regionally and internationally. Humanizing education becomes our focal point, thus giving a universal value to knowledge, virtue and service. Research and innovation by its academic fraternity are undertaken with seriousness, not merely to fulfill the academic requirements, but to be at the forefront in shaping the industry. more than 100 million ringgit worth of research grants invested, and more than 7,000 academic publications in the field of management and business produced in the last 5 years. Facilities and amenities provided feature the latest in smart technology, complementing the tranquility of the lush green campus surroundings. First-class infrastructures within the exquisiteness and splendor of nature showcase the education ecosystems at its best.
The facilities, the environment, actually creating individual or students who have holistic skills from the perspective of academic, professional, as well as the social skill.
We believe in developing students holistically that can serve the society and country as its future leaders with the highest integrity and professionalism.
I'm actually happy to see how exactly University of Utara Malaysia have evolved itself to become a highly ranked university.
University Utara Malaysia, over the past 3 decades, has earned its own place by providing the highest quality of education and is marching forward towards achieving greater success and greatness. With the various awards and accreditations received, the future is certain and bodes well for the university. The royal patronage with the Kedah Royal House indeed provides vital publicity for the important work done at the university and allows the enormous achievements and contributions to society be recognized.
Ilmu, Budi, Bakti. It shows that this is a center for you to gain knowledge.
UUM is a unique environment where the emphasis of the university is not just purely on academics. In this case, academics, sporting excellence, spiritual excellence, and by then, I guess we could live up to our motto of Ilmu Budi Bakti.
I love UUM, and I'm proud to say that I graduated from UUM.
UUM is the jewel valley of the North Malaysia.
Ilmu Budi Bakti.
We love UUM.
University Utara Malaysia, the eminent management university.
Salam Sejahtera and a very good morning. Speaker of Dewan Rakyat, Parliament of Malaysia, Professor Dr. Ayub Che Ahmad, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation, University Utara Malaysia, Professor Ida Madiha Abdul Ghani Azmi, Professor at Ahmad Ibrahim Kuliah of Law, International Islamic University Malaysia, Dr. Rohana Abdul Rahman, the Dean, School of Law, University Utara Malaysia, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the ceremony for the opening and keynote speech of the 10th UUM International Legal Conference 2019. This conference is jointly organized by the Parliament of Malaysia and University Utara Malaysia and co-hosted by UNISDA and Universitas Jayabaya, Indonesia. The theme of the conference this year is Law, Government and Society, addressing the challenges of IR 4.0. The School of Law of UUM have organized 9 successful international legal conferences, ILC, since the first conference in 2001, with the latest being held in 2017. It is hoped that ILC 2019 again will be another successful conference for mutual exchange of ideas among the participants to generate suggestions that can be beneficial to the field of law. It is also hoped that ILC 2019 will be the starting point for the future discourse on legal issues and challenges arising from IR 4.0. Without further ado, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Ayub Che Ahmad, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation, University Utara Malaysia, to give the welcoming speech. Please welcome.
Yang berhormat Testing. Okay. Okay. I repeat again. Yang berhormat Tan Sri Datuk Muhammad Arif bin Mat Yusof, Tuan Yang di-Pertua Dewan Rakyat, respected keynote speaker Yang Berusaha Profesor Dr. Ida Madiha binti Abdul Ghani Azmi, Professor at Ahmad Ibrahim Kuliah of Laws, IIUM, Yang Berusaha Dr. Ika Yulia Sari, Representative Rector 1, Universitas Jayabaya, Yang Berusaha Associate Professor Dr. Zainal Amin Ayub, Legal Advisor of UUM, Yang Berusaha Dr. Sharifah Nuridah Aisyah Said Nong Muhammad, Head School of Law and International Relations, UNIZA, Yang Berusaha Dr. Rohana Abdul Rahman, Dean of the School of Law, UUM, College of Law, Government and International Studies, Yang Berusaha Dr. Yohanif binti Yusof, Director of the UUM ILC 2019, presenters and participants of the International Legal Conference 2019, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and salam sejahtera. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to convey the sincere apologies on behalf of Yang Bahagia Professor Dr. Ahmad Bashawir Haji Abdul Ghani, the Vice Chancellor of UUM. He is unable to be with us here today, but he asked me to convey his best wishes to everybody. Let us give thanks to Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, for it is His abundant blessings that have enabled us to successfully organize this conference. I would like to extend a special welcome to our guest of honor, Yang Berhormat Tan Sri Datuk Muhammad Arif bin Mat Yusof, and Yang Berusaha Professor Dr. Ida Madiha binti Abdul Ghani Azmi, who will be delivering their speeches later. A very warm welcome also goes to all distinguished guests, presenters, participants, and everybody present in Malaysia's most iconic building today for the 10th UUM International Legal Conference 2019, UUM ILC 2019. I would also like to congratulate Dr. Rohana binti Abdul Rahman, Dean of School of Law, Dr. Yohanif binti Yusof, Director of the UUM ILC 2019, and the organizing committee on job well done. I take this opportunity to acknowledge the concerted efforts and hard work of the organizing committee and all those involved in preparing the necessary groundwork to ensure the successful execution of today's event. UUM ILC 2019 is built on the successes of 9 previous conferences organized by the School of Law UUM. UUM ILC 2019 aims to be another successful platform for scholars from various fields and disciplines to debate and discuss contemporary worldwide issues. This conference also offers an avenue for academicians, researchers, students, and practitioners from far and near to share experiences on any current legal issues. The mutual exchange of ideas among the presenters and participants is hoped to generate suggestions, if not solutions, which can be beneficial to the field of law. Ladies and gentlemen, in assisting Malaysia, in particular the Ministry of Education, to rise its name in the international arena, UUM has improved its position for the past 2 years. UUM has successfully soared to the 116th position from the previous 128th position and 6th position among public universities in Malaysia, based on the QS Asia University rankings by 2020. Besides that, UUM has also been recognized as the 76th world's best university in the UI Green Metric University Rankings 2019. These are indeed great achievements for the university, but efforts are still ongoing to place UUM in much better position. In upholding the principle that education lives within the society, UUM recognizes the close relationship between the university and the community. UUM has since reached out to the people through the One School, One District project, 1PP1D, which helps the various districts in the state of Kedah to develop socio-economic programs. UUM has the expertise in various areas that can be contributed to the community in each district depending on the location of the community. The One School, One District and the strategic cooperation with the Kedah State Government Secretary's Office will enhance the community engagement between UUM and the Kedah State Government for the benefits of all Kedahans. UUM's Wakaf and Education Endowment Funds has also been established to help underprivileged students from the B40 group in UUM to continue their learning process in a more comfortable and secured manner. In addition, the UUM Food Bank Program was launched by His Royal Highness, the Tuanku Chancellor, to ease the burden of students from the B40 group to receive food assistance. With the establishment of this program, it will be possible for the targeted students from the disadvantaged group to be able to receive food assistance and enjoy a more conducive learning environment. In terms of innovation and technology, UUM is not totally out of league as compared to other public universities. Although management and social sciences has been our specialization, UUM has demonstrated positive achievements in terms of ranking and award winning. In November 2018, the computer science in UUM has been ranked in the 601 plus rank in the Time Higher Education World University Ranking 2019 by subject. UUM has also managed to secure 2 awards at the Persama 2018 Awards, the Malaysian Mathematical Sciences Society. In February 2019, fellow researchers from this university won 1 silver and 2 gold medals at the Bangkok International Intellectual Property Invention, Innovation and Technology Exposition 2019. Apart from that, an academic staff from our School of Computing became one of the award recipients for the best PhD thesis from the Shibara Institute of Technology, Japan. Even our students have demonstrated their talents. In one such case, a student won a silver medal at Innovative Research Invention and Application, IRHA Exhibition 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, Industrial Revolution 4.0, or better known as IR 4.0, is the 4th major reset in the history of factory automation. It is also sometimes referred to as smart factory. Moving past the IR 3.0, which introduced the use of computer, IR 4.0 is an intelligent production incorporated with the Internet of Things, cloud technology, and big data. It advances the ability to collect, share, and use information so as to make better decisions, to be more productive, and far more decentralized as compared to IR 3.0. In other words, IR 4.0 is moving towards smart manufacturing. The IR 4.0 helps manufacturers with current challenges by becoming more flexible and making reacting to changes in the market much easier. It can increase the speed of innovation and is very consumer-centered, leading to faster design processes. At the heart of Industry 4.0 is a set of rapidly evolving and converging technologies. Human capacity is being enhanced through artificial intelligence and autonomous robots. As a result, the IR 4.0 is changing the world around us. Artificial intelligence, AI, robotics, big data, and the Internet of Things will combine to bring about impact to jobs and industries. In the same perimeter, effects of IR 4.0 on higher education affect the roles of universities in preparing students and staff. To take full advantage of the opportunity created by advanced technology, we need a similar revolution in education, not just to meet the needs of industry, but also to ensure the best possible student experience, effective utilization of staff time and facilities, as well as fruitful investment. UUM will not fall behind in creating educational institution that is ideally placed to help produce the workforce for this new world and develop the students' experience to match it. One of the key elements of education is to generate holistic graduates who can take on challenges being brought about by the technological development of the IR 4.0, which is affecting the employment sphere by creating new knowledge and skills requirements. UUM facilitates the opportunity for every student to learn in innovative ways while enabling them to reach their full potential, thereby developing skills that will help them thrive in the future. As Education Minister Dr. Mazli Malik mentioned at the Education Minister's Special Awards Ceremony, Innovative Curriculum Design and Delivering 2018, ACRI 2018, lectures too should be dynamic and adapt to various changes and yet hold on to the basic concepts of higher education. Consequently, IR 4.0 divulges a culture of innovation in the profession of lecturers that is to diversify teaching and learning methods. At the center of legal education in UUM, the School of Law will definitely be part of the workforces to achieve this aspiration. Since law is the backbone of our life, it too has to develop alongside the advancement of technology. For that reason, law, government, and society addressing the challenges of IR 4.0 is the most appropriate theme for the 10th UUM ILC 2019. It illustrates the intersection between law, government, and society in facing the prospects and challenges of IR 4.0. In essence, the discussions that revolve around this theme are expected to exchange fruitful ideas on the strategies and measures that are in tandem with the aspirations of the IR 4.0. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of UUM, I would like to once again express my appreciation to our guests of honors, all distinguished guests, scholars, participants, and everybody for making time to be with here today. May this conference be a platform of enrichment in legal knowledge. I sincerely wish all of you will enjoy the 2 days of debate and networking. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. His Excellency Tan Sri Yat to give the officiating speech. Please welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Parliament of Malaysia. As stated by Professor Ayub just now, welcome to the iconic building. It's truly iconic. You can see it as you approach the Lake Gardens. Yeah. First of all, I must say it is my great pleasure and honor to convey this officiating speech at the 10th UUM International Legal Conference 2019. In fact, I think this is the first time ever that we have done a joint hosting with a university, right? Although this is not the first time when we have engaged with the public. We have actually carried out quite a few of these engagements in various forms: workshops, seminars, lecture series, so on and so forth. And we will keep on doing this as part of our parliamentary reform. Because the parliamentary precinct is not simply meant to be an iconic building, not simply meant to be a place where legislators come and are insulated from the public to discuss and debate and decide policy matters. It is also meant to engage, because Parliament is a representative institution, and what better way to be representative than to engage with the public, to build trust with the citizenry, so that everyone, engage in a collaborative effort to pass laws to ensure that society at large is properly managed, and of course to promote good public governance. That said, by way of introduction, I must introduce and acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Vice-Chancellor of the University Utara Malaysia, Professor Cik Ayub Cik Ahmad, who spoke just now, the Professor at Ahmad Ibrahim Kuliah of Laws, IIUM, Professor Dr. Aida Madiha binti Abdul Ghani Azmi, the Rector and Representative of the Universitas Jayabaya, Dr. Ika Yulia Sari, the Dean of the Faculty of Law and International Relations, UNIZA, Professor Dr. Zuhairah Arif Abdul Ghadas, and the Assistant Vice-Chancellor, College of Law, Government and International Studies, UUM, Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Fuad Osman. I'm not sure whether everyone is here, but most of them, but never mind, even if they are absent, they have taken part in the organization of this conference, so I'll mention them all the same. Allow me also to acknowledge the Dean of the School of Law, UUM, College of Law, Government and International Studies, Yang Berusaha Dr. Rohana Abdul Rahman, who started this through our discussions, initial discussions. Director of the UUMILC 2019, Yang Berusaha Dr. Yohanif binti Yusof, of course, all the paper presenters and the participants of this International Legal Conference 2019. So it is a great pleasure, it is a great privilege for me to address you today. Being legally trained myself, I am of course very interested in the overall topic of this conference, law, society, because law cannot be divorced from society. Topics such as law and society, law, economics and society, or whatever combination will be very relevant, so that we don't necessarily focus only on black letter law. We take a holistic approach to things, and hence it is good to discuss the fourth industrial revolution, IR 4.0, so-called. As you know, I don't quite like the word, actually, industrial revolution, but never mind. As we all know, this phenomenon, originally coined by Klaus Schwab, the originator and director of the World Economic Forum in Davos, can be characterized as a fusion of new powerful technologies blurring the lines between the physical, digital and biological world. It is kind of an amorphous concept, and the professor talked about big data, cloud, hosting, and so on and so forth. Quite frankly, we don't really know where it's leading to. Yeah? We assume for the moment it's all about AI, big data, cloud, hosting, and that sort of thing, robotics, and so on and so forth. But no doubt, it is a very challenging environment and very challenging development, and it will impact not only most of us, I think it's going to impact all of us, the rich, the poor, the educated, the non-educated, and so on and so forth, young and old, regardless of race, gender, or religion. As we know, we've come a long way, historically speaking, that is, from IR 1.0, if you like, IR 2.0, IR 3.0, which is basically where we are now. And we are now looking at, or beginning now, to be part of IR 4.0. Yeah? But it's all got to do with industry, the industrial revolution. That's why I say I don't quite like the term. We talk about the invention of the steam engine, and the growth of industry, basically began in UK and all that. It was not global in the sense when we talk about IR 1.0. IR 2.0, we will reach a stage, mankind reached a stage when electricity became the norm, introduction of electricity, mass production, and so on and so forth, the beginning of this century, or rather the later part of the last century. Well, this is a new century, later part of the 19th century, and the earlier part of the 20th century. We are now in the 21st century. To IR 3.0, digitalization, computers, and so on and so forth. This is where we are. We've got all this kind of gadgets. And we are now moving to IR 4.0. As Professor mentioned just now, it is a new era of artificial intelligence, big data, and so on and so forth. It's very challenging. And this new environment will affect all aspects of life. I don't think we can really say only industry, only the economy will be affected. It's going to affect everyone. And it's going to affect all disciplines, law included, I think. But essentially, when people talk of IR 4.0, they really focus on industrial development or even economic development, a little bit on how do we approach education, that sort of thing. But the way I see it, we have not really dealt with, this is where, I think your convention matters, on the effect it's going to have on society at large. We need futurists to look at it and see what's in store, instead of merely looking at one aspect of the problem, right? So a holistic assessment of the direction that is leading us will be, I think, most welcome. And in this respect, I think we need to look quite closely at law, how it's going to impact law and lawyers at large. But people say maybe law and maybe lawyers, not law, lawyers will become redundant. At least convincing lawyers will become redundant. So everything will be done through smart intelligence, robotics and so on and so forth. Some people say even judges might become redundant, which might be a good thing. But no, you cannot substitute judgment with AI. Obviously, you can't. You can't. But this is great. As a lawyer, I have seen the progression from the days when we didn't have fax machine. We had the cyclostyle machine. We didn't have email. We had nothing. We didn't have electronic libraries. To the current position when we have so many technologies at our disposal. So you don't need to go through the voluminous stacks of books and law reports to arrive at a defined conclusion. The work is speeded up. In fact, books are now becoming fairly redundant because it's all done through search engines and so on and so forth. But again, I was informed by one of our friends from UK that this development of IR 4.0 has in fact made it imperative that even codes of law, legal rules, have to be drafted or have to be translated into digital codes. Because if you have a driverless car, an intelligent car, it cannot understand the highway code by reading the highway code. The highway code too has to be coded in such a way that the driverless car can understand how it should behave. So these are fantastic challenges. It's beyond our wildest imagination, but it is a facet of life now. There's only driverless car. We don't know what else. What about drone technology and also, so it is quite a challenging environment. Anyway, let me just move on. And of course, there is the aspect of globalization. It is undeniable that globalization has not been an unblemished process. Advanced technology has divorced productivity from labor. Advancements can consequently mean that we are achieving the targets by a significant margin, but with fewer workers. It is evident in the area of technology that the demand for low-skilled laborers have decreased, while the highly educated workers are paid higher and demanded more, causing an upsurge in inequality. This is a human aspect, I think, which we cannot ignore. But economists will tell you, never mind, it will have an equation. There'll be lesser demand for unskilled workers, but there's going to be an increased demand for very skilled, technologically based workers. I don't know. We have to wait and see whether there will be this equalization. But On the contrary, on the upside, we know that modern economic integration and international developments have lifted millions of people out of poverty by improving education, extending life expectancies, and forming new opportunities. Therefore, it is clear that the balance must be struck when approaching the matter of technological advancement. Actions must be taken to alleviate economic stress that are emerging and to accommodate towards the needs of an impending age. In the mid-term review of the 11th Malaysia Plan, the government launched the National Industry 4.0 policy with the aim of mitigating the intensification and challenges of the digital revolution. In the review, the government detailed that the policies provides an action plan to catalyze the adoption of Industry 4.0 related technologies to increase productivity and competitiveness of the manufacturing sector. The government is focusing on cognitive capabilities through the education system and the workplace. It is an inevitable reality that education plays a crucial role in the age of technological advancement. The Malaysian Education Blueprint 2015 to 2025, which was also reviewed by the Ministry of Education, was focused to improve access to education, closing achievement gaps, and maximizing system efficiency in order to meet the demands of the rising expectations for IR. The approach to this blueprint has been groundbreaking. Multiple perspectives were gathered from various experts and international agencies to elevate and assess the performance of the Malaysian education system. These include the World Bank, UNESCO, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, and 6 local universities. The ministry also worked with other government agencies to ensure alignment with other public policies related to education. This is, what's been developing on the executive side. In this parliament itself, issues relating to IR 4.0 and its far-reaching effects often cropped up during question time and debate. So it is something that has captured the imagination of the legislators. Many questions have been raised. It occurs very frequently during debates too. We therefore welcome the hosting of this conference within our precincts. It has become, as I said earlier, part of our ongoing reform agenda to allow for a greater engagement with the public at large on matters that impact the work of legislation. Obviously, academia is an important component of this engagement. Right? So we, of course, we welcome the co-hosting with UUM, with International Islamic University, and any universities for that matter. Closer links will be needed. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about highfalutin stuff, macro ideas and so on and so forth. Let me say, in our small way, in this parliament, we have indeed embraced the potential of IR 4.0. On the ground floor of this building, and do visit it if you can, if you have the time, we have established a state-of-the-art e-convenience store. This was a space dedicated originally for the smokers. The smokers liked the space, we didn't. When Parliament banned smoking within the main building, we have dedicated this space to the e-convenience store. The e-convenience store that we have is a fully automated, cashless, works 24 hours a day, all right? While man sleeps, it keeps chugging along. And it is a graphic illustration of the potential of IR 4.0. It's really cutting edge. I have walked into it numerous times, and I marvel at the technology behind it. The idea is very simple. It's just a humble convenience store, but it is so smart. You know, it's driven by artificial intelligence. I marvel at it. I want to buy a bottle of mineral water, take out my handphone, scan the QR code, the door unlocks itself. There is no one in the convenience store. I take my mineral water, I go to another section, scan the QR code again. This store understands me perfectly. Yeah? I say, okay, place your credit card or debit card at a certain place, place your item at a certain place. It scans it. It says, all right, your card is valid. I will deduct the amount from your account. Thank you very much, it says. And that's it. And it says the door is unlocked, you can leave. Because, okay, it doesn't speak to me like that way, but the process is like that. Right? And when I commit a mistake, one time when I was very impatient, I just placed the item in the wrong place, I didn't even scan my card properly. The screen suddenly pops up. And we have this human. Finally, we have a human. Huh? Not from around the corner, but from the control center in Ipoh. And this young man told me, be patient. Be patient, take a bit of time. You know? And this is interaction between machine, man, artificial intelligence, human intelligence, whatever, you know, and this humble shopper. Right? So it does illustrate in a very graphic way that the technology that we're looking at and the IR 4.0 that we are addressing really revolves around very simple ideas, a very simple interaction between technology, man, and an integration or fusion, if you like, between the needs of man and technology. So the future is so challenging, you know. So I'm old, but I suppose if the young projects, you know, their lives 20 years ahead, I wonder what the world will be like. You know, what new technologies are in store. But we don't worry about it so much now. We know IR 4.0 has arrived. It's not like we're looking at tomorrow. It has arrived. Yeah? And back to what I said earlier, I don't quite like the word industrial revolution because really it's much more than economic development. It's much more than industrial development. It's got to do with society at large. Technology and society and the integration between man and science and technology. And that, for me, is the most challenging idea and the most challenging part of this modern development. Okay? And they say, back to the question of lawyers and law, they say lawyers will become extinct in the near future. You know? Cashiers will become extinct. Sure, it'll go down, you know, we don't need a cashier anymore. Right? Accountants will be, you know, really surplus workers because the machine can do the sums, the machine can do your income tax. Yeah, just input the basic data at home and it's done. So why do you need accountants? Right? Even, I suppose, company accounts can be done by a very intelligent machine and so on and so forth. But I think it's all hype. Right? There will still be a need for humans to operate systems. But even if lawyers become extinct, being lawyers, I think we can argue ourselves out of a tight situation, can't we? So lawyers will still be needed because law requires value judgment, I think. And judges will be needed because you need value judgment and so on and so forth. Machines can assist, can aid the process, but it can never replace human judgment. Unless someone tells me, and someone says, no, you're wrong. You know, Mr. Speaker, we can create a machine that can even think and be able to perform value judgments. And they also say even doctors or surgeons may become extinct. I I am afraid if this prospect come true, would you trust a machine to cut up yourself? No, I don't think so. I prefer a human to do it. Yeah? So anyway, thank you very much for being here and to attend this conference. And to conclude my remarks, I would like to extend my compliments to everyone who was involved, and wish the conference organizers and to the Secretariat of the International Legal Conference 2019 on the tremendous effort and commitment in making this event a success, which I'm sure it will be. So, with the recitation of Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful, it is my great pleasure and honor to officiate this convention and declare open the opening of the 10th International Legal Conference 2019, Law, Government and Society, addressing the challenges of the Industrial Revolution 4.0. Thank you very much. Wa billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Tan Sri. Please remain standing, Tan Sri, for the launching.
I will keep on standing because you're not a machine, you're human.
At UUM School of Law, we aspire to provide the best legal education to our students, both at undergraduate and postgraduate levels. Our academic team and our support staff work hard to produce graduates with holistic characteristics. This conference is one of our flagship programs to engage with other academia and legal fraternity in Malaysia and friends abroad. I warmly welcome all of you to the 10th UUM International Legal Conference 2019.
The theme for this year's conference was chosen primarily because there are a lot of legal issues and challenges affecting the society nowadays. Especially with the emergence of IR 4.0, people are changing their work routines, how things are done in the era of IR 4.0. It is our aim that this conference would serve as a platform for fruitful academic discussion on legal and societal issues confronting this globalized world.
In conjunction with the Malaysian Parliament's 60th anniversary, I would like to convey my heartfelt congratulations and warmest good wishes to all members of the Parliament, your service of others, and to our beloved country, Malaysia. Wishing you all the best and continuous success.
With keynote speech session. The keynote speaker, Dr. Ida Madiha Abdul